Scene script. Have you ever wondered how the Earth, our home, came into existence? Picture this: a swirling, chaotic cosmos around 4.5 billion years ago. Amidst this cosmic dance, our planet begins to form through a process known as accretion. Accretion is a bit like building a cosmic snowball. Dust and gas floating around in space start to come together, pulled by the inexorable force of gravity. These particles and pieces collide and stick together, gradually growing larger and larger. As more material is accumulated, the proto-Earth starts to take shape. But this early Earth was far from the blue and green oasis we know today. It was a hot, molten mass, a roiling world of rock and fire. Picture an ocean of magma, a surface aglow with the heat of creation. This was a world still in the throes of birth, a planet being forged in the fires of time. Then comes an event known as the Late Heavy Bombardment, a period roughly 4 billion years ago when the inner solar system was pummeled by a wave of asteroids. This celestial assault scarred our young planet, but it also contributed to the creation of something very special: our moon. The prevailing theory is that a Mars-sized body slammed into Earth, and the resulting debris coalesced to form the moon, our ever-constant companion in the night sky. The Earth continued to change and evolve, cooling down and developing a solid crust. It was a tumultuous, fiery start, but it set the stage for all that was to come. From this molten ball emerged the conditions for life, for the blue oceans, green forests, and the diverse array of creatures that inhabit our world. This was the fiery start of our home planet, a start that would eventually lead to the conditions we know today. So, as we trace the story of our planet, remember that our existence is the result of billions of years of cosmic history, a testament to the incredible power of nature and the enduring mystery of the universe. Imagine a world without life, a barren, inhospitable landscape. This was the Earth during the Archean Eon. Journey back with me to a time between 4 billion and 2.5 billion years ago. This period is known as the Archean Eon, a pivotal era in the story of our planet. It's a time when the Earth was a blank canvas, just beginning to be painted by the forces of nature. This epoch witnessed the formation of the Earth's crust, a process that took billions of years. The Earth was a hot, molten mass, a world of fire and churning rock. Over time, as the planet cooled, this fiery cauldron hardened to form the Earth's crust. This crust became the foundation upon which the continents we know today would later form. But the Archean Eon wasn't just about the formation of solid ground. The Earth's first oceans began to take shape during this time. As the planet cooled, water vapor in the atmosphere condensed and fell as rain. Over millions of years, these rains filled the basins in the Earth's crust, giving birth to the first oceans. Now, with land and water in place, the stage was set for the origin of life. The first life forms to emerge were simple, single-celled organisms. These were not complex creatures, they were basic life forms, yet they represented a monumental step in the evolution of our planet. Among these early life forms were cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae. These tiny organisms had an enormous impact on Earth's history. They mastered the process of photosynthesis, using sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into oxygen and glucose. This process not only enabled them to survive, but it also began to alter the atmosphere of the planet, filling it with oxygen and paving the way for more complex life forms to evolve. And so, life took its first tentative steps on Earth. This was the Archean Eon, a time of profound transformation and the dawning of life as we know it. Fast forward to 1 billion years ago and the Earth was ready to host complex life. In the vast expanse of time, a new chapter was unfolding. The first multicellular organisms were taking shape, marking a significant leap from the single-celled life forms that dominated the previous eons. This was no small feat. The emergence of multicellular life meant that cells were beginning to work together, forming complex structures and functions that single cells alone couldn't achieve. Among these early pioneers of complexity were the fungi, plants, and animals. But let's not rush ahead. The road to complex life was a long and winding one, filled with countless trials and errors, and many dead ends. The real explosion of life, however, came during a period known as the Cambrian, around 500 million years ago. This period, often referred to as the Cambrian explosion, saw an unprecedented diversification of life in the Earth's oceans. Seemingly overnight, in geological terms, the seas were teeming with a variety of complex organisms. The Cambrian explosion is particularly significant because it's during this period that most of the major groups of animals, or phyla, first appeared. These included the ancestors of today's insects, crustaceans, and even the first vertebrates. But the story of complex life doesn't end there. Around the same time, life was also making its first tentative steps onto land. The first land-dwelling organisms were likely simple plants and fungi, but they laid the groundwork for more complex organisms to follow. These early pioneers had to adapt to a whole new range of challenges, from exposure to sunlight and variations in temperature, to the threat of desiccation. In the face of these challenges, life on land flourished, eventually giving rise to the diverse flora and fauna we see today. Life was becoming more diverse and complex, setting the stage for the age of the dinosaurs. Welcome to the Mesozoic era, the age of dinosaurs, a time when giants roamed the earth. This era, spanning over 180 million years, was truly the reign of the dinosaurs. These beasts, in their diverse forms and sizes, dominated the land, sea, and even the air. They ranged from the colossal long-necked sauropods to the formidable predators like Tyrannosaurus rex and the small, nimble raptors. The dinosaurs weren't the only ones evolving during this era. The skies were filled with the ancestors of modern birds. These creatures, called avialans, were small, feathered dinosaurs that developed the ability to fly. Over millions of years, these early birds diversified, leading to the myriad species we see today. Beneath the towering dinosaurs and the soaring birds, the first mammals scurried in the undergrowth. These were small, nocturnal creatures living in the shadows of the dinosaurs, but they were evolving too, slowly diversifying into the many branches of mammals we're familiar with today. But this age of giants came to a sudden and cataclysmic end. Around 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid impact near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico caused a global disaster. The impact triggered wildfires, caused tsunamis, and threw so much dust and debris into the atmosphere that it blocked out the sun. This impact winter led to a drastic drop in temperatures and the extinction of about 3/4 of all species on Earth, including most dinosaurs. The survivors of this mass extinction event had a drastically altered world to inhabit. With the dinosaurs gone, new opportunities arose for the remaining species. This catastrophic event marked the end of an era, paving the way for mammals to take over. In the ashes of the dinosaurs' world, mammals rose to prominence, eventually leading to us, humans. The Age of Mammals, or the Cenozoic era, marked a new chapter in Earth's biography. It was during this era that mammals, which had been living in the shadow of the dinosaurs for millions of years, finally had their moment in the sun. The evolution of mammals was a slow, gradual process. From small, nocturnal creatures, they diversified into a wide array of forms and sizes. Some took to the seas, evolving into the whales and dolphins we know today. Others, like the mighty elephants and the swift cheetahs, dominated the land, and a few, like the bats, even conquered the sky. But among all these mammals, one group stands out: the primates. Primates are a diverse group, including lemurs, monkeys, and apes. And it is from this last group, the apes, that we humans trace our lineage. The first human-like creatures, the hominins, appeared around 6 million years ago. Over time, they evolved, becoming more and more like us. They started walking upright, developed larger brains, and began to use tools. About 200,000 years ago, a new species emerged that was remarkably similar to us: Homo sapiens. These early humans spread across the globe, adapting to a variety of environments, from the frozen tundra to the scorching desert. And then, just a blink of an eye in geological terms, humans began to build civilizations. We developed agriculture, created complex societies, and invented technology. Today, our impact on the Earth is so profound that some scientists suggest we are living in a new epoch, the Anthropocene, defined by human influence. So here we are, the latest chapter in the Earth's long and fascinating history, a chapter that is still being written. As we continue to shape our planet, we should remember our humble origins and our responsibility to this extraordinary world that we call home.